Okay, so Captain Sean, welcome to your throne, mate, in the Boeing 737. We're here at Perth International Airport, and we're on the almost the northerly facing runway. So the international terminal is the one off to the right, and the domestic's off to the left, which means the city is just past our left wing.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Just so we're sort of familiar with where we are.
Yep.
What we'll be doing, we're going to be taking off from this runway, obviously, and going to make a left turn to just head over towards the coast, over towards the CBD, see some of the sights, and then we'll fly back in onto the same runway. Okay? We're going to do a touch and go on this one, so we're going to land, apply full power and take off again. Then we're going to make a left turn once again, but for the second landing, we're going to use the other runway, the cross runway. Okay? And we're going to be landing towards the Darling Scarp. But we'll talk about that afterwards, okay? So we're pretty much ready for takeoff as we are. The aircraft's all set to go, and we just need some takeoff clearance, that's all. Before we get that, we'll just talk about our controls and systems and whatnot, okay? Some of it might make sense to you from flight sim and whatnot, but we'll go through it again, just to make sure, okay?
No worries.
So, firstly, those two pedals, okay? One for each foot. They're called the rudder pedals. They, funnily enough, they move the rudder, that's just the vertical fin at the back of the aircraft, and they also move the nose wheel, okay? The main purpose for those pedals is to steer the aircraft down the runway, okay? If you want to go left, just push the left pedal. If you want to go right, just push the right pedal. So left for left, right for right, okay? And you're going to find those pedals are quite sensitive, so just be aware of that so you don't start over-controlling. In the air, don't need those pedals until landing, so you can just relax your feet down by the column if you like. Alright. Up here's the yoke, okay? Main control of the aircraft, and that's what we're going to use in the air. It's going to allow us to pitch the nose up and down and roll the wings. So if we pull the yoke back, that's going to pitch the nose up, and it should induce a climb. Doing the opposite, pushing forward, will bring the nose down. Okay? Left and right, same directions as your steering wheel. But of course, you're not going to turn like that. You're going to roll the wings left and right. Okay? That's good. The reason I say that is, while we're on the runway, try and resist the temptation to try and steer it like a car. Because if you're going fast enough, you're going to flick your wings over. And the wings are going to hit the ground. And bad things will happen. But that's good. Okay, those are the main controls. Just remembering steering on the runways and on the ground, and then steering up in the air. Okay? And of course, we'll use this to get airborne as well. Alright, now some systems. Just three of them, just briefly. Number one, the wheels or the landing gear of the aircraft. They come up and down, in and out of the plane. We operate that with this lever just here, okay? And just to make sure we don't go pulling the wrong lever, there's a wheel on the end to remind us what it's for, and the lever's shaped like a gear strut, okay? Now you've got two positions, you've got down and up. It's pretty self-explanatory. But just make sure when you do move the lever, you first pull it out, okay? Because it's locked there for safety, alright? Otherwise it's not going to move. Okay. We'll talk about these in a second. I'll just move them out of the way for now. Because down the right, next system, flaps, okay? Flaps come out from the back of our wings. They just sort of slide out on the approach. Yep. Put very simply, without getting too into aerodynamics, they just allow us to fly at a slower airspeed. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. The higher the number, of course, the more flap you have out. Okay, so flaps 40 means those flaps are as far out as they go, really overhanging. We're not going to go that far. We're going to land with flaps 30. Okay, takeoff's going to be performed with flaps 5. Now, these things, I don't expect you to remember that. Okay, I'll just be requesting settings from you. So, as we're flying, I'll just say, Sean, let's get flaps 15 happening or flaps 25. Okay. Just got to remember how to move it, so pretty easy. Just lift the pin up and move it where you like. Okay, just you probably see at 15 there's this we call it a gate. Okay, the gate's there to stop the pin from going any further inadvertently. Okay, so to get past the gate, instead of trying to bring this pin up and over the gate, it's going to bring the pin down and underneath. Okay, let's have a fiddle so you get used to it. So let's try and go through the gate a few times. So lifting it up to get into there. Yeah. Awesome. You can see it's a really easy lever to move.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't really require a lot of effort.
That's good.
That's good. Alright, we'll bring it to 5 for takeoff. Excellent. Last one, thrust, okay? Thrust levers. That's a bit rude, isn't it?
Then last, I always takes off.
Michelle, customs.
Alright.
Very familiar on that.
So you got one for each engine, left and right, okay? And you see they move individually, but we're going to try and move them together whenever we can, okay? Obviously, forward to increase power, back to decrease power. So right now they're at idle. Okay? When it comes to setting your power, we don't go, oh, let's get power halfway or 3/4 of the way, okay? We want to be nice and accurate, so we use percentages. Now we find those percentages on the top 2 dials. So right now they're idling at, let's just round it to 21%, okay? And we see it goes 20, 40, right up to 100, and it goes all the way to red line of around 110, 115, okay? Which we're not going to go to. Alright, so that's good. And so if I was to say, you know, let's set 60%, that's where you're looking, okay? To set the 60%. As we push these forward though, what you'll find is those engines are very slow to respond. So you have no real idea as to where that power is, okay? Because these white bars are going to lag behind anything you do. Yep. So instead you're going to use a wide arc and hook. They'll come out from the bottom. Those hooks move with your levers and allow you to set the power. Alright? So you can do it yourself. Just have a quick little try. Just try and set 60%. We'll use 60 again. And you can move these levers as fast as you like. That's good. And you probably notice those white bars just sort of chase the hooks, and they just stabilize wherever the hooks are. That's really good. And that'll be close enough. That's actually really good, okay? If you're looking for exactly 60, chances are you won't get it. It's very hard to get to the decimal place, okay? But that's good. Yeah, you can bring it back to idle, as long as that makes sense, yeah? Okay, that's all we'll talk about for now in terms of systems, okay? So you just got your wheels, your flaps, and the power with those top 2 dials. To save confusion, I'll turn this bottom screen off, okay? So we don't get confused. Lastly, I know you're eager to get airborne, okay? But lastly, you've got 2 screens in front of you, okay? You're going to find a few instruments on them. Screen on the right, that's your navigation display, alright? Tell you what, just ignore that for now. Here around Perth, we're going to fly very visually, okay? So I'm going to say, oh look, there's a CBD, let's fly towards it. There's Forestdale Lake, let's go towards that one, and whatnot, okay? Maybe in Queenstown, we'll use that one a little bit more, okay? So, but yeah, for now, just forget about it. On the left, though, that's your primary flight display. Please don't forget about that one, okay? It's going to tell you 2 very important things that you'll be monitoring anyway. Your attitude and your altitude, okay? So, attitude's in the center of the screen. You've got your artificial horizon just sitting there. And that's just giving you a blue sky and a brown ground, which will move about the little aircraft, which is depicted by the black L's as the wings and the black squares the nose, okay? And we'll discuss that artificial horizon once it starts moving and we're airborne, okay? To the right of that vertical tape, that's the altimeter. And it's currently sitting at, let's just say 80, okay? 80 feet above the ocean.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yep. Okay. Now that's important because we're going to climb and maintain roughly 3,000 feet. Okay, now that's been set for you up here. You can see altitude 3,000.
Okay.
By popping it up here, we can find it above the altimeter in pink. You've got 3,000 at the very top of the altimeter. That's just there as a reminder. Okay? Alrighty. But that's all I'll have you looking after. The attitude and the altitude. Okay? The other one on there, the other major one is your airspeed. That's on the far left, the other tape on the other side. Okay?
Yep.
I'll look after that initially.
Yep.
If you get more and more confident and comfortable with everything else, we can bring in the airspeed, okay?
Yep.
Alrighty, but are there any questions with all of that?
Not really.
Nope.
No.
Okay, now I'm going to be talking a lot.
Yep.
Okay, you're going to be sick of my voice by the end of the hour.
Yep.
If you have a question, just don't be afraid to just shush me up and let me know what the question is, okay? Alrighty, but in that case, we'll get that takeoff clearance. So Perth Tower, flight experience 556, ready for departure.
Flight experience 556, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff at 556. Okay, so we're going to dim our lights down. Okay, to control the lights, you've got the same control as me down by your left knee. Okay, just that large circular knob.
The big one?
Yep, just that big one. Spin it to the left as far as it, goes.
Okay. Yep.
That's good. I'll pop your armrest down, mate, on the right here. So in case the takeoff's not so flash, we crash comfortably.
Okay. no
Alright.
worries.
And so we're going to turn the parking brake off as well. That's just down the left. Just pushing it forward like a handbrake.
This one here.
That's the one.
Yeah,
You,
we're off
you-
now,
yeah, you can turn it off now. Because with this engine power, we won't roll anywhere as long as they're at idle. Okay. All right. So with takeoff, you're gonna have your feet on the pedals, the steering, and your right hand on the thrust levers. Okay. Okay. We're gonna begin the takeoff now. So we're gonna bring power up to 40%. Just to 40 for now, because we want to make sure that both engines are balanced before we go hitting 100. Okay. As you can see, they're looking nice and schmick there. So when you're ready, let's bring it right up to 100%, okay? But be careful not to go past 100 in red line. We don't want that. Ignore the beeps. Ignore the beeps. Just keep going. The aircraft just sensed that we were out of balance. So I'm just correcting it now with the wheels.
Yeah, that's in the wheel now.
Alright, power's set. Now eyes just focus towards the end of the runway, okay? Just steering with your feet. Alright, we're now committed to takeoff. No turning back. So both hands on the yoke, and we can now safely pull back.
Just do it out.
Yep, so pulling back, we can rotate the nose up. There you go. Very nice. Alright, we've got a positive rate of climb, which means we're going up. So you can bring the wheels up. Sean, just reaching over. And we can also bring that power back to 80%. Awesome. So takeoff's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just accelerate and pull back once you have enough airspeed. And that airspeed's worked out by the computers. So they tell us all we have to know. These beeps, you can ignore them.
Yeah.
It's just beacons on the ground just talking to us, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so that's good. So, what's our altitude at the moment, Sean?
Altitude 2,000.
Yep, that's good. So we've got about 1,000 feet to go.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll hear a little chime in a second. There he is. That's the aircraft saying, oh, Captain, you've got 900 feet left until, in this case, 3,000.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just getting ready to level the aircraft off. And to level off, yeah, just going to push the nose forward. And you want to get that horizon about 1/3 of the way up your windscreen, okay? So from the bottom up. And that's just a reference, okay? So don't take that as law, but if you're struggling, that's your go-to thing, okay? 1/3.
So still bring up to 3,000, yeah.
Yep. That's good. There's 3,000 feet. And we've lost our horizon. So look down at your artificial horizon.
Yep.
And keep the nose just above, the first line above the horizon, right there. Just try and hold the nose there. And that'll keep you roughly level. Alright, there we go. We can see again. Alright, let's bring the power back to 60. Or 60%, I should say. And we're going to start a turn to the left. Okay? So keep turning. Just turn at an angle that feels comfortable, okay? I'll just see what it's like. Or,
It's unbelievable.
we got some traffic down out your left window. There's an aircraft just there.
Okay.
But he's no threat. That's okay. Okay, keep turning. We're just doing a 180, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because you'll see the CBD, you'll see the buildings.
Yeah, right.
So you just fly towards the CBD once you see it. That's good. Really nice. Excuse me. So a bit of a restriction. We've got Pearce Airport up there in front of us, or just off to the right.
Yes.
So we've got to always just watch out for that airport.
Oh, yeah.
We can't be flying, if you want to fly over Pearce Airport, you have to be at a certain height. Just that's not to impinge on their airspace, that's all.
What speed were we at? Actually, I forgot to when we lifted. About.
Our rotation speed was around 130 knots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that changes with weight. Alright, that's good. So what we'll talk about now, that was a good bank angle, okay? As in the rate that you're turning. But we can do that more accurately, alright? We can turn at a particular angle. Now what we use is that artificial horizon down there below you, okay?
Yep.
There's no panel. So up the top here, these lines all represent angles of bank, okay? And that blue triangle is pointing towards whatever angle you're turning at currently, alright? So if it points up towards the white triangle, it means your wing's level at 0 degrees, okay? Then each line is 10. So right now we're turning to the left at 9 or so degrees,
Okay.
yep?
Yep.
Let's try and set 25, okay? So it's, yeah, holding it between the second and third lines. It's going to seem steep, but don't worry, it's quite standard rolling at 25. That's good. And you're going to notice, see how that nose is coming down? We're starting to descend, alright?
Yep.
Just pulling back gently as we roll. The reason for that is, as you do roll your wings, you lose lift. Okay, so the nose drops. And the amount you pull back, I mean, yeah, that's just a bit of judgment. We can't really say. But as you roll, you probably pull back a mil or two just to keep the nose up. Okay, there's the CBD, just through the clouds off to your left.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So whereabouts in Perth are you guys from?
Maddington.
Maddington?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, don't hold that against us.
No, that's okay. Just trying to think there was a way to fly over Maddington.
Yeah, I work in South Guildford. I watch these things every day.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it from Guildford. Especially when, not that wrong that we're using, but the other one's being used.
Yep.
Flying right over Guildford, yeah.
For sure.
Like, one of my family friend lives in Queen's Park. And we go to her house sometimes, and honestly, they come in so low you can see their landing lights on the roads. It's ridiculous. I don't know how she sleeps.
Jeez.
All right. So little lake in front of us. That's Lake Munga.
Oh, yeah.
You got Herdsman Lake just to the right with some swamp in it. There's a bit of an ugly lake, that one. But right now we're on what's called the downwind leg.
Okay.
So we're flying parallel to our runway, okay, which is off to our left at the moment. And we're just flying parallel. We're going to fly away from the airport, then do another 180 to the left, and fly back around.
Spin around now.
No, keep it going. We'll go past the city.
Yep.
Almost, we'll go past Freo, almost as far as Jandakot, and then we'll turn
okay.
around, okay?
Yep.
What we can do though, let's just descend a little bit to get below this cloud, because this cloud's pretty annoying. So just say 2,500 feet, just going down, nice and slow, no rush. Okay, and we'll just turn to the left slightly. Let's fly down the Canning River, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just fly down the Canning River. How you feeling, mate?
I love it.
Good?
It's great.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah.
Alright, there's 2,500 feet. There's Freo Harbour off to our right with some cranes and whatnot, and some boats. We've passed Rotto, but we can see Garden Island out there as well. So the Naval Base West is out there. Alright. Yeah, it's looking good so far.
Yeah.
We've got our lakes out there, so you've got Bibra Lake, Lake Yangebup and Lake Thompson, all out there in line,
yeah.
okay?
Yep.
So we're going to fly almost up to those lakes, and then we'll we'll make a left turn. Okay.
Yep.
And Perth approach, flight experience 556 at 2,500.
Flight experience 556. Continue approach. Report on final.
Bullico 556. Jandakot Airport, it's a bit hard to see. It's just to the left of our nose. And you'll see some buildings there. There's a... actually, well, we see it out your window as we get closer and closer. But just some larger buildings.
Yeah, over the suburbs.
Just down below the nose, there's sort of like a faint red tower on a little hill.
Yes.
Yep, that's Jandakot Airport.
Oh,
You can see some taxiways there.
Yep, yep. I get you.
Got to watch out on the right there. There's a little Cessna coming in, our white speck.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
see him. He's
yeah.
coming into Jandakot. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, we're going to keep on turning to the left. It's going to roll at 25 degrees of bank. Just trying to maintain that as best as we can. Perfect. And just trying to sit at around 2,500 feet, okay? It's really good, mate. Alright, let's lower the landing gear. And keep on turning. So we're turning around to the runway now. Can you see the runway off to your left? Yep.
I can see that, yep.
Alright.
Yep.
See if you like, you can keep your eyes outside now and just fly us down visually. So from where we are, I think we have to turn a little bit tighter to the left. Just so as to not overshoot the runway and go
Yeah.
past the centre line, okay? That looks good. That looks very sexy. Okay, let's bring our flaps down to 15 degrees. Yep, that's good.
Was that lightning, was it? Oh, I thought I saw a shot of lightning.
No, must have just been a glitch somewhere. I'm not sure. But can you see those lights at the beginning of the runway? Those sort of yellowish ones?
Yes.
Yep.
You want to line up with them.
Yeah, so we want to be in line with the runway, and you want to hold those lights about 1/3 up your windscreen again, okay?
Okay.
Just like you did with your Horizon, except this time it's just those lights. And Perth Tower, flight experience 556 with you on the approach for runway 03.
Flight experience 556. Cleared touch and go.
556. Alright, flaps down to 30 now. So flaps to 30, Sean. That's good. And we're a little bit high, so we're just going to push forward and lower the nose. That's good. Just keep that attitude, okay? Keep those lights there. That's about halfway up our windscreen, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, just try and keep them there. Because we are a little bit high, so we're just descending faster than usual. That's all. Now with the landing, it's a nice smooth sequence, okay? Going to keep the nose down until we cross the beginning of the runway, okay? As we cross the beginning of the runway, we're going to start to bring the nose up very gently, okay? That's called the flare.
Yep.
Just trying to lower our descent rate, coming in nice and softly on the back wheels to keep that nose up, okay?
1,000.
And that's going to be very gentle. When you hear that guy call out 50, okay, that's 50 feet above the ground,
Yep.
we'll then turn the power off,
Okay.
okay? And bring your nose down a bit more. Nose down, so pushing forward.
Oh, down.
Yep. That's good. Okay, feet on your pedals for steering.
500.
Alright, now we're getting back on height. Let's come to the left, just a bit of a scoot to the left.
Approaching minimums.
Just hold your nose there for now, don't pull back yet.
Minimums.
Yep, so just start turning to the right, just
100.
gently. Starting to bring your nose up as well, doing that flare.
50.
Bring your power off.
30.
Develop the flare, develop.
20. 10.
There you go. Let the nose come down nice and gently. Okay, steering with your feet, so with those pedals. Just give it a few seconds. And when you're ready, let's apply full power. And 3, 2, 1. Let's pull back again. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. Let's slap the wheels back into the aircraft. We're just going to bring our flaps up to 5 degrees. And we'll bring that power back to 80%. Alright. Okay. So, actually, to mix it up, just keep on flying the same way you are, okay? We'll come in from the other end, so we'll land towards the city.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have some sort of view when we come in.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay? Okay, so like before, climbing up to 3,000 feet, okay? And just fly straight ahead for the time being, that's perfect. So what did you think about that landing?
Probably came in, I think, should have straightened her up a bit better before I came in. But
Yeah, that's a, yep. No, I agree, it wasn't too bad though, okay? Don't worry, I've seen a lot worse, so
Okay.
don't be too critical of yourself.
uh,
But yeah, we came in slightly high and a little bit to the right. But saying that, still a successful landing, okay?
Yep.
It was fixed well. You recovered very well. Alright, let's bring the power back to 60% now because we're not climbing anymore, so we don't need that much power.
Yep.
And approach 556 at 3,200.
Flight experience 556. Continue approach. Report on final.
556. Alright, let's start turning to the right. Just 25 degrees of bank, please, Sean. We'll try and maintain that. And we'll try and maintain 3,000 feet. Right, those beeps we just heard, that's just a warning to you that you've deviated plus or minus 300 feet from 3,000, okay? Nothing wrong, just make sure you haven't passed out or whatnot. Okay, now it's going to be a bit of multitasking because I'm going to explain some more systems while you maintain the attitude, okay? But these systems are going to help us slow down after landing, okay? First one's up here, the auto brake. Go ahead and bring that to number 2. We can do that now. So you've just armed the auto brake, that's all. As soon as we land, there's a micro switch on the suspension that recognizes the landing and turns the brakes on, which we've set to be moderate. Okay? That's set. Good to go. Next one, down the left here, bring this speed brake lever up just to unlock it, and back about half a centimetre and just release it there, okay? And that's going to arm it. That's it. That's good. What's going to happen as soon as we land, this lever's going to come all the way up automatically after landing,
Okay.
and it's going to bring our spoilers up, those things on the wings, okay? So that's good as well.
Slow us down, eh?
That's good. That's what we want as well. Let's bring the gear down. But yeah, so the spoilers act, like you said, a speed brake or an air brake, and they dump the lift.
You actually feel the gear going down as well.
You can feel it, and you'll feel that drag. They suck the nose down.
Yeah, sure.
All right, can you see our runway? It's going to have the same two lights, just to the right of us at the moment. Yep.
Yep.
All right, that's good.